let's make some monster charcoal-fired New York style pizza and talk about how you can win £1,000. Right, super hot day today, beautiful as you can see. So I'm keeping the dough inside today. I don't want the dough going over in the heat. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get one dough ball out, I'll get it into my flour bath, run this back inside. I've also got my cheese, my tomato sauce, everything inside. It's just gonna get hot and sweaty out here, so we'll bring it out as we need it. So we've got two 480 gram dough balls today. New York style's a pretty new style to me. I've probably made it 4 or 5 times. This is probably the 3rd time over wood fire, or in this case, charcoal. So I'm playing around with my dough specs at the moment, different quantities of different types of flours, different quantities of oil. So results from today will go in the notebook. We'll see how we get on, and we'll improve next time. Got 2 pizzas to make today. I'm gonna make one classic cheese, it's a classic New York, and then one pepperoni, another really classic New York style. Let's go. So, nothing that different here from what we do with Neapolitan dough. Plenty of flour, got to be that bit more careful with the size of the dough ball till it's free from the box. Pick it up, straight into our dough bath. I'll make an absolute mess everywhere. So no different really, I just want to get this dough ball coated in flour. Use semolina if you want. We're just changing the texture of the surface of the dough so it's less sticky. That's going to stop it sticking to our board and to our peel. Small amount of flour on the board. New York style, we're baking it lower and slower, so we're going to get a bit less oven spring. The crust's going to be a bit breadier. This is a slightly thicker dough than you would with Neapolitan style. Stretching's pretty similar. We're going to leave about the same amount in the crust, but we're going to get less oven spring, and therefore the crust's going to be a bit smaller. As I say, playing around with this style, so any tips you've got, I'm all ears. So our sort of rough stretch out. There is quite a lot of gas in this dough, probably more than I might be aiming for with the New York style, but we can deal with that. And then we're just gonna gradually try and work the dough out. See here with the tray, that's 16 inches, so we're gonna stretch the dough out till it's about 16 inches. We'll get it onto the tray, build the pizza here, and then launch on the tray. No slap method with New York style pizza like this. We're just using the extensibility of the dough and gravity to take it to about the right size. Really trying hard, in my limited experience, not to go too thin on the base. We're going to start the bake on the tray, but then when we're ready, we're going to slide it onto the stone to finish off the base. So we don't want the base to be too thin for that process because we want to avoid tears. But this is looking pretty good. Just sense check it. We're still a little bit short, an inch or 2 to go. And so what I'm doing basically is I'm looking for the thicker bits of the base, and I'm gonna try and stretch those bits so I get a nice even stretch across the whole pizza. There we go. Yeah, so size-wise, pretty happy with that. So we're gonna grab our tray, lift the dough up, get it onto the tray, run inside and grab our toppings, and then we'll get it topped and baked. Just as I would do with Neapolitan, just stretching out by the crust here, just to fill this tray. Same thing applies, we launch at 16, we're gonna get a bit of shrinkage in the oven. So we just can mitigate that shrinkage just by getting this right to the edge of this 16-inch tray. Pop some of these bubbles. Pretty happy with that. So sauce-wise, I've got a bit of a thicker sauce than normal. That's just some mutti pulpa, cooked down with basil, oregano, garlic powder, onion powder, and just a little bit of chili in there. New York sauce is not something I've really gone down the rabbit hole of yet, but I know you want like a thicker, richer sauce for this style, so that's what I've gone with today. And then I've got some low moisture mozzarella and some pre-grated British cheddar. Not your classic New York cheese mix, but this is what I've been using so far and it's been working for me, so that's what we're doing. So our sauce, this style of pizza, we're using a hell of a lot more sauce than I'm used to, so it's just something you get your head around as you move from, particularly from Neapolitan style, where it's all about less is more, to a New York style where, you know, you've got the sturdiness of the tray to carry a bit more toppings, but also it's just sort of expected of the style of pizza. The sauce is a little bit warm off the back end of cooking it, which is a big no putting it straight on a pizza. I've actually just had it in the freezer at the bake-off, panicking to get it cold enough. So it's come down a bit, but it is still a bit warm. But it should be all right. The worry is, does the liquid get through the dough a bit quicker and get it sticking to the tray below? But if we can get it in the oven quickly, we should be all right. Nice thick layer of this sauce. Looks about right. Our low moisture mozzarella. This is the Galbani Cucina from the supermarket. Could use a fior di latte. You could use a pre-grated mozzarella. I do think that's pretty common in these sort of lower and slower styles of pizza, but this is what I had, so this is what I'm using. Cheddar. You know, we all know that New York style, American style of pizza in particular, is pretty heavy on toppings, so we're going to go in with loads of cheese. I've been practicing this style recently and we've been slicing and then freezing the slices. So nice to have them in the freezer. You can just heat one up in the hot oven or in a pan. They come out so good. I think we're happy. That's topped, ready to go, so let's get it in the oven. So much less stressful type of pizza to cook than Neapolitan. No worries with the launch, straight in on the tray, no stress at all, and it's not going to cook anywhere near as fast. We're running just on charcoal, stone temperature sort of 340, 350, air temperature about the same. So we're expecting a cook time here of about 5 or 6 minutes. I think that's what they've been coming out at, but really it comes down to how do you want the crust to look, how brown do you want it. I'm going to go for that perfect golden brown, hope not to get too much charring, but that's the thing I've been struggling with. Mine have been coming out, I think, a little bit hot, so we're getting more black spots than you'd expect on New York, but that's fire cooking, it is what it is. So I'm going to set a timer for about a minute. That'll take us to about 1 minute and 30 seconds. I'm going to check in, see if it needs spinning around. I'm just going to go grab some gloves. Right, that's us. We're about 90 seconds in. It smells amazing. We might not need to turn yet, but I want to check in. I want to make sure we don't get too much colour on the back of the pizza. So you can see here we're starting to get some nice browning. This side will continue to colour even though it's not facing the fire. So good time to turn. Another 90 seconds and then we'll come back and turn again. So this is a quick opportunity for me to tell you about how you can win this. This is £1,000 cash. £1,000 is the top prize for our UK's best home pizza competition. It's May 2025. Entries are open now. So head to our website. I'm also going to link the video from last year's competition. Go check out how much fun it is. It's for amateurs. It's a fun competition. We go away. We have a great weekend together. Great food, a few drinks, and just like memories that are going to last a lifetime. So go check out the documentary from last year and please think about entering. So quick look at the second turn. So decided not to turn yet. As someone who's made loads of Neapolitan pizza, I am quite an impatient pizza maker, always looking for the next thing to do. You know, Neapolitan pizza, it's launch, 15 seconds, bang, turn, 15 seconds, bang, turn. This is a much more relaxed style of pizza making and takes a bit getting used to. It's like cooking a stir fry versus, you know, roasting a piece of meat. It's a lot less hands-on, a lot less things to do. And yeah, you've got to get used to that. So we're going to give this a little while longer. We'll give it a quarter turn in a minute, then another 180 turn, and then as soon as we've shown all sides of the pizza to the fire, we're going to think about taking it off that tray and getting the base finished while we get the rest of the colour into the pizza. I'm just going to do a quick fuel check. Yeah, so we've got a nice bed of charcoal, but beauty of charcoal is I can top it up. That's not going to spike our temperature. It's just going to hold a really nice even temperature. So while I've got a minute, I'm going to put a bit more charcoal in. Yeah, nice. We're getting the sort of colour we want. So we'll go quarter turn. We're going to give that about another minute. Give it another 180 turn, and then we're going to take it off the tray to finish it on the stone. Genuinely don't know what to do with myself. Final spin on the tray. We'll give it about 30 to 60 seconds, and then we'll finish it on the stone. Right, let's have a look. I'm just going to ease the turning peel under the pizza, try and leave the pizza where it is, and pull the tray out. Just try and cool this down. Don't have enough kit for New York style, so I'm going to try and use this as a cooling rack when it comes out, but obviously we want the metal to be cool by that point. And I'm just going to spin this pizza 90 degrees at a time until I've got the colour that I want all around the crust. Crust got a beautiful colour and the base looks like it wants 30 to 60 seconds more, and then we're done. And one beautiful, cheesy New York style pizza. So all in all, I think we can call that a success. Nice, sort of crisp, bready crust that you get with a slower bake. Cheese is gorgeous, smells amazing. It's starting to get some colour on it. You get that with a longer, lower bake. You also get it with the pre-grated cheese. There's a bit of grease on this one that is probably from using the cheddar. So maybe that's a change I can make. Might do a bit more reading about that. I gave it a bit too much colour at the back here. Ran inside to get that board. It probably had 30 seconds too long. But all in all, pretty happy with that. I'm going to get it onto the board, get it sliced. We'll see how a slice holds up. So we've been doing into 6 slices. Slices get wrapped in foil, into the freezer, defrost them individually, and they heat up beautifully. Either a big frying pan with a little bit of water for steam, or straight onto a hot baking tray in an oven for about 7 or 8 minutes. Definitely a bit greasy, which we're going to put down to the cheese. I have to play around with that cheese, and if anyone makes a lot of New York style and you want to let me know what cheese you use here in the UK, and in fact if you're in America and you want to tell me what cheese you use for an authentic New York, let me know and I'll try and find it over here. Let's pick up one of these slices. Oh, it's heavy. Oh, it's really heavy. I don't know if New York is supposed to be like 0 flop or whether there's meant to be a bit of flop in there. What I would say is we haven't achieved 0 flop, so it definitely needs to be a bit of a folder. Look at the back end of that, the bottom. Yeah, it looks pretty good. To me, it looks like that grease has caused us a bit of a problem. I think the grease has seeped through the dough in the middle, which has lost us our crisp. So yeah, I'd guess that's probably the problem. But hey, it's not going to stop us having a bite. Wow. So yeah, that is absolutely stunning. Very rich, totally different to your sort of typical Neapolitan margherita, which is all about simplicity. This has got a lot of flavour in the sauce. I forgot to mention sugar in the sauce. So you've got that sweetness that comes through the sauce, sort of kicks it up a notch. 2 types of cheese, really well baked cheese, so it changes the flavour of them. And then we should probably just eat a bit of crust as well. If you're not new here, you'll know that I got a bit chubby last year, so we're not eating too much pizza at the moment, but there you go, look at that cross section of the crust. Looks pretty spot on to me. To me, that's spot on. It's got a nice crisp to it. The internal texture of it is more bread-like, which is what you're going for. That longer bake like that was more like 7 minutes. You can taste the wood fire. You can taste that it's charcoal fired. That's banging. I'm so happy this is the style of pizza that I'm putting some time into. That is absolutely gorgeous. I'm out tomorrow, Saturday night. Somebody hungover on Sunday, so at least 2, probably more like 4 of these slices are gonna go down then. I don't know what adjustments to make. I might just try more mozzarella and less cheddar, see if that helps us at all with the grease. And we're gonna be putting a load of pepperoni on there, and that's gonna be greasy. So maybe we'll try that, see what the outcome is, and yeah, we'll go from there. Right, clean board, new toppings, pepperoni. I'm gonna go grab the dough. Let's get that stretched out and get this second one baked. So while I stretch and top this second pizza, I'm gonna tell you just a little bit more about the UK's best home pizza chef. I got accused recently on this channel of my videos being a commercial, to which I replied, yeah, we're a business. We're gonna use our products on our own YouTube. So yeah, maybe it is a commercial. So I'll try not to get too commercially because I don't want anyone telling me off. UK's Best Home Pizza Chef is a competition we've been running for 4 years now. This will be its 4th year, and the whole point of the competition is to get passionate pizza people together to cook together, yes, in competition, but to have fun together. We have a really great weekend. Honestly, I think it's our favourite weekend of the year from a business point of view. And yeah, if you're into pizza, I can't encourage you enough to think about sticking your hat in the ring and see if you can get through to the final. But because I'm not allowed to self-promote, I just want to tell you very quickly about our sponsors for the event, because without them, the event wouldn't happen. So first up, Pepperoni, really passionate brand, all about the quality of the ingredients, and they are super passionate about the home pizza making scene in the UK, as well as the commercial pizza making scene. They supply restaurants all over the country. Pepperoni, great little business, sponsoring the event for the first time. Sonata, my go-to pizza flour. Sonata came on board last year and they're back this year with full sponsorship, really helping us to put the competition on. Without these guys, it wouldn't be possible. Sonata is a British milled pizza flour, so it's a mix of British and Canadian wheat, but it's milled here in the UK, meaning it's not milled in Italy and then driven all the way over here. So low road miles, it's a good thing for us. That's what our business is all about. And then finally, we've got LLK Pizza Pros. LLK are absolute pizza nuts. They supply the catering trade with pizza making equipment all across the UK. They've got a semi-professional oven on the market now, which is electric. I know we're a wood-fired brand, but these guys are adding a lot of value to the competition this year. You'll find out more on the weekend of the competition, but we couldn't be doing the format that we're trying to do this year without LLK on board. So go check all of those guys out. Go give them a like and a subscribe across their channels. I'd say Instagram is the main one for all of them. Yeah, looking forward to hosting the event with them. So let's get back to pizza making. What I've done here, just while I've been talking, gone a bit thin here. I think I haven't gone too thin. What I don't want to do is when I slide the peel under to move this off the tray, I don't want to go through the dough there and make a hole. So I'm going to avoid picking it up again. I'm going to try and stretch it out from the crust and just see if we can get this out to the edges of the tray without causing more of a problem there. Luckily we've got good gluten strength, otherwise I think I might have put a hole in that. I've not done my very best job of stretching that one while I've been talking to you. Serves me right for promoting the sponsors, but there we go. So that's not quite the edge of the tray here, and I've knocked all the air out of the crust, but we're going to top it, we're going to bake it, and we're going to enjoy it. Gone slightly less sauce on this one for all that chat in the first one about heavy toppings. I'm going to go a bit lighter on everything because I'm going pepperoni on, but also just to see if we can get the grease levels down a little bit, whether that's leaching out the cheese, It's obviously not the sauce because there's no grease in that, but whether it's leaking out the cheese, I'm not sure. So I'm going to go less fresh mozzarella, and then I'm just going to scatter a bit of the cheddar. So hopefully that'll just melt down and the fat will be sort of absorbed into the sauce and pool where it is, rather than running to like a central pool in the middle of the pizza. We'll see. Don't get any cheese on the metal tray. Let's get this pepperoni open. So I made one of these quite recently, and I absolutely leathered the pepperoni all over it. I think I get caught up in that whole like, oh, American pizza's got so many toppings on, and I mean it was amazing, but we could only eat one slice and we ate 2 each and made ourselves feel sick. So I'm going to go a bit lighter on the pepperoni today. I think I did half a pack of this and half a pack of the larger pepperoni, and yeah, it was too much. So let's go a little bit lighter. Half a pack of the small pepperoni. That should do us. Then I had this as a gift from friend in America, Christy, who runs an Instagram account called Real Clever Food. She was over in the UK, she brought it over to me. It's flat iron pepperco, so literally out of America. So why would we not put it on a New York style pizza? Christy lives in New York, so it's a fitting topping for this pizza. So that's mixed chipotle ancho and habanero chilies, so it'll be a nice level of heat to go with the pepperoni. And let's get this launched. Pizza's in, we know we're expecting a 6 or 7 minute bake, so I'm just going to shorten this process. I won't talk you through it this time, and I'll see you at the back end and see how the pizza comes out. I don't know if you saw with me topping up the fuel there, but I'm just trying to keep the biggest lumps of charcoal out of this. You can break those up, but really what you want for high heat in the Ooni is high surface area, so as many of the smaller to medium sized lumps of charcoal as possible. So that's the 4th turn. I've only given it about a minute between turns this time. We're going to slide it off the tray quicker. That's going to give more time on the stone in the pizza oven directly with the base. Hopefully that's going to crisp the base up a bit more while we finish colouring off the crust. So we'll see if we get a different result. Right, let's get this bad boy out. And there's our second New York style pizza. 2 cheeses, pepperoni and mixed chili flakes. Let's have a closer look at this. Ooh. Hot. So besides not stretching very well, I think we're a bit closer to a New York style finish here. Looks like we've got a bit more structural integrity to it, which might mean we get that sort of New York stiff to the tip slice, which I think is what we're going for. You know, it's not stiff to the tip, so welcome your feedback. Base actually is a little bit light. Yeah, base is a little bit light across the board, so I wonder whether we perhaps lost a bit of heat in the stone. Yeah, maybe didn't have enough just to get that sort of final crisp and final browning. So yeah, I'd say lessons learned today. Good fun experience doing it. Tell you what, we should have another bite, shouldn't we? You know, diet aside. What I will say is we are nailing that sort of that New York flavour that I'm expecting. You know, richness in the sauce, richness in the cheese. I think with some tweaks to the way we're baking, maybe, you know, remember to go back to basics. I'll bring my thermometer out. I won't launch until I know I've got the right stone temperature. Sort of going on blind faith really that, you know, charcoal holds this oven at sort of bang on sort of 340 to 360, but maybe if I've let my top up go too late, perhaps that's letting my stone temperature drop. Maybe this is sucking out a bit more heat out of the stone than I'm used to. So we'll come back, we'll try again. Hope this has been useful to you. I think it's a good idea to, you know, to push yourself outside of your comfort zone with the types of pizza you're making, which is what I'm going through at the moment. So yeah, I hope it's been a good watch. Please like and subscribe. Please go check out the competition as I asked, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.